What's up?
I just knocked the mic over.
Oh, for
I was
fuck's
hyping
sake,
myself up. I was going like this, and I caught the freaking.
You know what? Not
I
even gonna.
caught the hot
I'm not
filler.
even gonna clap. Welcome back, guys. Thought we'd just start the intro in another classically failing way. Hope you had a good Christmas. I think we're talking. It's what 4 days after Christmas, and Luke is currently on the floor. He's loving this much. He's on the floor. Oh, for context, we were trying to get ready to do the recording, and Luke was hyping himself up, and because Luke is so intelligent.
I didn't even do it properly.
For context,
yeah,
for
I
those
basically
who aren't
knocked the
watching
mic
and
over.
listening, he knocks the mic over, yeah.
And then I just tried to knock it over for dramatic effect and failed. It's just
So, moving on from Luke's lovely embarrassment, we're now in that period of the year where there's nothing going on. We've just gone past Christmas. We're now before New Year. Now, we've got next week's one, which will finally be the New Year special. So you'll have nothing new.
You'll hear it in the new year. You'll hear it in the new year, but we'll be recording it just beforehand.
100%. Yeah, we'll probably be recording this after this one's released on the same day, so probably something on those lines. So yeah, we'll have lots to talk about then. But in the meantime, how you been this week, Luke?
Yeah, I've been good. You know, I've been bowling. And to be fair, tonight I'm gonna be out at a gig.
Oh, fair.
So it should be good. When I say gig, I mean, you know, it's playing, I believe, the Shrek soundtrack. So, you know, should be a good one.
Classic 2023. Listening to Shrek soundtrack full of people. Makes sense.
God damn right.
And what am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm still suffering from the Liverpool result. No football this week because I'm banning football. Don't want to talk about it anymore. Disgraceful.
When you do a 40-minute video on football, you go.
Gotta apologise a little bit for that, guys. We sort of just got really into it, and I kind of lost track of where the minutes were. I did not.
Yeah, I would apologise as well, but this could take up more of the podcast, and we need to just steer clear of this.
To be fair, we're 2 minutes in, so we're all good. We're all good.
Yeah, we were 2 minutes in last week.
No,
and
we were
that's when it started
7 minutes in, and then we went categorically out the window. But no, we hope you guys had a good New Year. Sorry, no, that's next week.
No,
good
that
Christmas.
Week,
sorry,
stupid idiot.
Mate, I've been at family. First time I've had Christmas off. I've been at work. I'm all over the place right now. It was chaos.
As you can tell from the chaos of this, we've been getting a bit festive.
Have we?
At least I. But yeah. I don't know about you. It's the festive period. I'm having a bit to drink. I don't know about you.
I don't drink. Whenever Christmas is around, I literally just stuff up on food, and that's all I've done the last few days. Christmas dinner was great, and then the afters were great, and then now I'm like, oh.
I mean, I'm absolutely planning on getting married tonight, so you know.
Fair man, fair. It is like you say.
If you're at a Shrek gig, you kind of have to.
Yeah, it would be kind of disrespectful, to be honest.
If you're sober at a Shrek gig.
It's a bit of an issue there.
Well, you're going to be you're going to stand out. Which do you want to stand out in a Shrek gig?
Yeah, I don't think that's possible.
It's just getting on the right vibe, you know.
Yeah, the vibe of get out my swamp, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and just start doing Eddie Murphy impressions and stuff like that. You know.
True.
As you do.
But no, since we did waste 42 minutes of your life last week, and we do every week. It doesn't matter what the topic is, we are wasting your time, but you know, you choose to, so that's your fault, not ours. So this week, because we're in the weird period where not a lot's going on and football's off the table because I ban it, that we're very much going to talk about what we're aiming to do probably in the new year, what the pod's got coming up in the new year, what maybe we've got planned going on, and stuff that's going on, stuff like that. I don't know about you, Luke, but I think in the new year I'm going to be regularly uploading on YouTube again. I think I need to be streaming again. You know, I had my recap come through, and I've done like less than 20 streams this year, which is just. Oh.
That's less than me.
Yeah,
that's less than me, and I've not streamed in like 5-6 months. Like,
it's because I've had a really busy year. I say busy. I was at home until May. I moved out in May. I had a family holiday until middle of June. I was still getting used to my new job, which isn't really a new job at that point because I started in September. The moving out has been a real like getting used to that. Like I wouldn't be able to record videos as freely as I am now. I wouldn't be able to chaotically ruin my life like I do now, but that's even better, that is. I do that in chaotic fashion, to say at least. So it's been an interesting year, to be fair. I don't know how 2024 is going to go, but I'm open to it being all right.
I'm open to it being better than 2023. That's what I'm open to. No, I'm wanting to come back to streaming. You know, maybe I've said to my Discord, expect me back no later than March 1st.
Bloody hell, you've given yourself 3 months.
Well, that's when Rebirth's out, and I know I'm going to be streaming Rebirth. That's a guarantee. That is, if I'm not streaming Rebirth, Jesus Christ, my finances have been in the bin.
You should stream every single Final Fantasy up to that game.
How much money do you think I have?
Have you not got them all already?
No.
Oh no, 7 was your only game, wasn't it?
It's the only. I've only played Remake. No, I did buy Crisis. I did buy the remake of Crisis Core and did not enjoy it. Like it was the rolls. It was the roulette style, not roulette. Like the slot style system they had. That thing just wound me up.
Oh, fair.
But yeah, every time you start a fight in Crisis Core, it starts with, like previously in Remake, the thing I loved about it is you just flowed into combat.
Yeah.
It would do like a combat start, and then you start fighting every time, like break it up a little bit too much. But it didn't feel as natural.
Yeah.
That's what I think got me annoyed at that. But yeah, so I've told him that's the very latest to expect to come back.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to come back earlier. I know you're listening to this, some are members of that Discord, so I'm not putting any definitive date down. I'm not doing it. I'm not saying any dates for certain, okay?
It's not like I'm trying to personally lure him back in with some Lethal Company, because I have now. So since 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago on the pod, I spoke about I planned on playing it the few hours after it, and I did, and I can confirm it's as fun as it is on the videos. It's also as equally terrifying, because it's just fucked. There's no other way of describing it. The creatures in that game, for a guy who's 21 who's made that game, that's nuts. He went from making Roblox maps to making a game that is so popular, people are willingly making themselves scared. Fair play. I never understood, like, I understood the hype of Phasmophobia, but I didn't really see the comedy in it. I just sort of saw the fear and the suspense and all that kind of stuff. Saw some funny moments, but Lethal Company is just ride or die clips. They're brilliant. The amount of memes that have been born from that game already, like the give him back to me, he's mine meme. Like, I didn't realize that was a meme until I did it when I played with Archer and James. For those who don't know, I know James will be listening, and Archer. We played over on Atomic Yin's channel. Go follow him. And
also known as James.
James, yeah. I just prefer people's first name at this point. And yeah, he streamed it. I did record it, but I lost all my footage. Well, I haven't, but it's really badly recorded, so I didn't bother. Classic. So yeah, we played it. It was an absolute load of fun. We think we played about 2 hours worth. It was absolutely, utterly chaotic. And the voice chat in game is actually really smooth. It actually doesn't sound awful. It sounds really good. It's quite accurate. And it's those moments where, like, you get to the front door, you leave, and then there's no one coming out, and then you're like, you can't hear me unless you're outside or inside with me. And it's just, that's the bit that throws me the hell off. It's them opening the doors, then all of a sudden, bam, there's no one there, and you're like, where'd they go? Yeah, we had a good few moments last week, or when we played it, to be fair. It was really fun. Hoping to do more of that in the future, to be fair. But Luke said he's contemplating it, but he said he'd be too, he'd probably play a bit cowardly, like one of our other mates did. But there's no shame in it. It's a horrifying game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not that guy. I don't.
One of us.
First, I don't do well with peer pressure. Secondly,
classic sports man.
God, my voice is going.
It's alright. Luke's got a bit of a cold at the minute, guys, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, I've been trying to mute myself when I've got a cold. Like, I've been trying to tap the mic off and on. So yeah, I'm not really that guy that enjoys getting spooked.
Oh, I hate it. I'm absolutely. It makes me. Oh.
It's not kind of my thing. And to be fair, I feel I either freeze up way too much,
Yeah.
but also I don't think, and I could be proven very wrong if I actually get this game. I don't think I give good, genuine reactions.
It's fine.
I don't think I.
Because if you have two people who are over the top because they're idiots, and then you've got two people who are either one's way too cowardly and one doesn't have the same reaction, that's fine.
Yeah, but I'm both those people.
That's equally fine. It just means when you die, we'll freak out even more because you'll go from, oh, there's a bracken in the corner, whereas if it's me saying it, so if Archer sees it, it'll be, oh my god, there's a bracken in the corner, run! If James
I'm going to do
sees
an
it,
Irish impersonation, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, I'm not even. It's why I just said normally. If it's me, there is no talking. It's just screaming. James, it's pure silence of fear. You'd probably be like, oh, there's that thing in the corner that's got the eyes. What's that doing there? And then it'd probably snap your neck and run off with your body. And then the meme would kick in of, give him back, he's mine. You just seeing me, because I honestly, I spent all of last week just beefing them. Played it earlier as well. Just for fun, and it's just as fun. You were there for it. It's just as fun. It's so chaotic. Like, even if you try to do simple things and then you come back out and realize your team's dead, you're like, oh, didn't realize that could happen. You know, I went inside a fire exit after me and Archer got too scared, one of our mates, and I was like, you know what? He's going to come in and he's going to have his back to me and he's not going to be able to see me, so I'm going to scare him. I'm going to make him think I died. I was in there for about 5 minutes in just silence thinking, someone's going to jump out at me and kill me. I'm going to leave now. And then I see Archer's body dead in the middle of a canyon, and I'm like, there's bees near him. The bees killed him. I don't know what to do now. And then because Luke's in the call, just listening to us play, he's like, oh, I can finally talk now. And I'm like, why did he die to bees? How'd that happen? And it turns out they just ambushed him. That's what I mean. Even bees are scary in this game. It's brilliant. And the guy's 21. He's set it at £8.50. And millions of people are buying this game. So I don't know what the split is from Steam to him, but he has to have done really well for himself. He has to have done. If he does, fair play, man.
Even if it's 10%, like, he's done really well for himself.
Mate, a 21-year-old in that kind of money from a game he's just made, it's an early access and it's that good. Imagine the full release. You know, you have nutcrackers with shotguns. You have dancing ghost girls who corner you. You have giant plant-looking monsters that rip you in half. Titans that shove you in chests. To, what is it? Mannequins with bobbleheads. I'm sorry, what's it called? Spring heads. That are weeping angels. Like, I don't know how he comes up with it, but they're all brilliant. They're so simple, they're brilliant. You know, it's like I didn't even realize that you can get killed by one where it stabs you and you bleed out gradually. Or the mask one where you can opt to wear it and then it kills you and then it takes over everybody bit by bit. And I'm like, that's another Doctor Who creature. Oh my god, they all might be Doctor Who inspired creatures.
It might be a fan, who knows?
Loot bugs.
Who knows?
Not too far out of Doctor Who. Weeping Angel, you know, bobbleheads. That's definitely ripped straight from the book. Well, I mean, the source page, you know what I mean? Like, if they are all Doctor Who inspired, I'd love to know, because a lot of them seem like they perfectly are. Can't imagine it, but you know, it's a stretch. You can enjoy the stretch, to be fair. But no, one thing I did want to mention though in the pod, because I know we tend to get carried away with things, is in the next few weeks or months, I don't really know when, so don't really expect the time frame just yet, guys. We are looking to get people on. I have got a list of people I want to come on, and they're varying from, you know, content creators we're friends with to people I'm kind of person where because of how much I'm on my phone, because I like to make content and keep an eye on everything, that I do make mutuals abroad and all these different kind of places, some really cool people who are absolutely amazing, and I'd love to have a chat with them and find out, you know, not kind of their life story, because I don't want to pressure them in that kind of manner, but more on the basis of like, get to know how they, you know, for me it'd be people who enjoy anime or people who like video games or their reactions similar to how I do on TikTok. There's quite a few people like that I've met anyway. I'm friends of some people who do cosplay, some people who did reactions where they filmed their friend reacting to the show for the first time, like I plan on doing with Luke, which I'm going to talk about that in a sec. So it's like, I have a list of people like that, and they'd be brilliant. And even our mutuals would be able to talk about Luke's nostalgia topic or my topic. So we're going to try and incorporate it in a way that like they're not forced to be out of their comfort zone. Like it's like if I can go and get a football fan and I force them to talk about anime, it probably isn't going to be a comfortable thing for them. Luke's different. He's
as I just waved the camera.
Yeah, he's got no
as
choice.
I just waved the camera, being like, "Yes, football fan, yes."
Yeah, he's here for more than one episode, so he's got no bloody choice at this point. But it's like one of those, isn't it, where like the topic has to be somewhat relevant to them. Like this isn't a 100% anime podcast where you have to talk about it every week. It's going to be a segment where you learn about it and you're like, oh, it can be either you could dislike it even more, or it could get you into it. It's a 50-50. You never know. And I could persist until you get likes it. You never know. So it's one of those where I do plan on happening in a few weeks. We've got a few people who have said yes already, which is fantastic. But obviously it's the Christmas period at the moment, and obviously some people are still at their families. Some people have got to travel back for New Year, that kind of thing. So don't expect anything anytime soon. But we might drop it sooner. Might drop it later. We won't.
Who knows?
Well, we might let you know or drop teasers. Just keep an eye on everything. And obviously we've got our specific topics where we do my introducing Luke into anime, and then Luke will have his nostalgia topics on TV shows, I believe it was.
Mixture of TV shows,
Video
games,
yeah.
like whatever, like anything from like probably the mid 2000s, realistically.
Yeah, and we're not gonna center the podcast around the topics because I feel like it'd probably just alienate people from the entire episodes. So we'll probably do segments of each ones. So like when it comes to my one specifically with getting Luke to react to a certain show, like I might do like Attack on Titan, or I won't do something too long, something that I can condense easily enough. Like whether it's a 12 episode or a 24 episode, there's going to be a different aim for however I do it. So it'll be, and this is so everyone just so they know what I'm meaning here. The actual reacts, if when I do it with Luke, they won't be in the audio format for those who are listening. So
there'll probably be clips on the TikTok or something.
Yeah, so there'll be majority clips and probably bonus footage somewhere on the YouTube channel, I'm going to say. There'll be YouTube shorts, TikToks, and probably like, because an anime episode is 20 minutes, and I can't really shove that into a 40-minute podcast, because again, you'll hear the episode, but you'll want to see it. So it doesn't make sense to do it purely in an audio format, because it wouldn't be fair to you guys. So keep an eye on for that. That's going to happen at some point in the next few weeks. Luke's format as well is going to be happening soon. You can talk about that now, Luke, if you want.
Yeah, so I'll depending on how familiar either yourself or the guest is with the nostalgic thing, depends on how long the segment would really be. Something like I'm pretty certain a Total Drama Island you won't have really known.
Yeah.
So with something like that, I'll probably have to go in more context and a bit more detail to describe it. But something we're a bit more familiar with would be a bit more banter back and forth about, say, a Takeshi's Castle kind of one. Just a couple. They're just two that I've thought off the top of my head that we could be doing in the upcoming weeks and months. But yeah, just depending on whether or not you or if any guest is on knows what's happening.
Exactly.
Depends on how much level of context are we giving to said show.
Yeah, because we're not
or game. I don't want to pigeonhole myself too early.
Yeah, because we don't want to overawe these guests. Like, if it's some people we're good friends with and they know what we're like and they already have an idea of what to expect, then sometimes the variation will be different. Like for example, if we invited Linda Fidon or Atomic Yin, we've known them both for quite a while at this point, so they would be completely fine with us hardballing questions to them out of the blue, because they've for example, I know Linda's watched a lot of anime, so Linda would be completely fine with that. I know James has watched an awful lot of random TV, so he'd be fine with that. They'd both probably be fine to some degree. Not James with anime, not a chance. But obviously they'd be fine. But there's some people who I've got good friends with who have been doing the Attack on Titan reacts. Annie and Alex. They're brilliant. I've been loving talking to them. They've got fantastic videos. Been blowing it really recently. They've been doing great. They don't know anything about the pod, so I'd have to, I'd vary it on them. I don't want to then just go, oh, there we go, there's everything, you deal with it, because that wouldn't be fair on them, guys. So it will vary week to week, so we are aiming to sort of keep it quite flexible to somewhat. Like last week, it was basically a football special, not intentional in the slightest, but it was a football special. Got 6 minutes in and was like, oh, we're going to go on a rant now for 37 minutes.
Yeah, I regret bringing that up so early. I was like,
I don't even know what started it.
It was me talking about United. It's a classic, just me insulting you and calling you sleepy because you slept through the game. Let's not keep on this because this might start again. Let's just,
I've got it all out my system for now.
Line through that. No,
I got
We're
it
saying
all.
no right now.
I got it all out my system.
I will flip my mic over again if I need to.
You probably won't be able to do it. You tried to do it earlier on demand and you couldn't do it.
I'm not going to do it.
Exactly, because you'll probably end up muting yourself and forget about it, and the whole stream you'll be like, you're now checking an eye on it to make sure, aren't you? Is there even an indication on it to show if it's muted or not?
Oh no, it turns red.
Oh, cool. I used to have a mic that did that. Now I've just got this little bastard who just... You don't even see it, it's the top of it. Oh yeah, the... For audio listeners, Luke tried to show off his mic and knocked his
ring light
off.
Oh, for God's sake.
So now man looks like he's praying over at church with the glow coming underneath his face. He's the Holy One. There we go. He's restoring light into the world. Mine's a Shure SM7B. If I move it though, I'm probably going to smack the bottom of my monitor and cause the whole camera to fall. Luke dropped his thing, and I'm going to probably drop the camera if I tried that. So best not try that, guys.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened at all.
Even though it's been like 3 weeks since the Game Awards, people still haven't shut up about it. I did a stitch on a video where some guy was like, oh, how can Baldur's Gate win it? It's never good enough, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, I just stitched it and I was like, look, people like this clearly haven't played multiple nominee games. So I feel like whenever people like dash their opinion out about a video game or a TV show and a film, in my eyes, if you haven't watched the one you're comparing it to, or the one you've played it to, or the one you've interacted with, in my eyes, your opinion doesn't really count. Like, it never will. If someone says Lord of the Rings is better than Harry Potter, my first question will be, have you watched Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter? If you say no to either of them, your opinion's invalid. Immediately.
Invalid, bias, you know.
Not even bias, it's just stupid.
Yeah.
It's like saying, do you prefer custard creams or bourbons? Have you tried custard creams? No. Well, you've got no argument then.
Oh, well, bourbons, correct answer.
I mainly brought that in because I've got a pack of bourbons at my desk.
Lovely. Good choice.
And custard creams.
Okay, well, you know, you can be right half the time.
I like both equally. Both are fine. I like both. So it's like, I don't know if anyone else is like that, because I feel like if you have a really strong opinion about another one, I feel like you can't have an actual unbiased opinion until you counter it with something else. It's like, I know the newest Call of Duty game is shit without playing it, because I've seen someone play it and it's no different than other iterations, if not worse. Yes. And also, Call of Duty, you can't really compare it to anything else these days. Like, Battlefield sort of disappeared off the face of the earth. Apex is a battle royale, so you can compare Warzone to it. Like, Valorant, you thought I was bringing it back to FF7 Rebirth, didn't you? I saw that reaction.
Yeah, no, we don't acknowledge that. I don't acknowledge it.
We're another week closer. Wait, January 9th it comes out, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're getting close.
So hang on. So today's the 29th. So
yes.
Oh, we're just under 2 weeks away, guys.
Shut up.
I might legit load up Apex just to play it, and then I'll stream it and just tag Luke in it and be like, "Come on in, guys, look at this promo." If it's pay to win, though, I'm closing it immediately. I'm not paying. If I have to pay for the skins,
I hope it is. Yeah, I beg it is.
I know you do.
I pray that is.
But it wouldn't be a good collab if they do that.
I care? No, I could not care less.
Fair, as you've established, Luke doesn't like the promo. Even when we spoke about it 2 weeks ago, he didn't like it then. He still equally doesn't like it now, and it's been nearly a month. Still doesn't like it.
Just because of how it happened.
He got baited, guys.
I got baited because of my bad internet. I came back, so if you enjoyed that, you enjoy this, and then Apex Bloody Legends.
Yeah. But I have been quite enjoying a lot. Like a lot, there's still loads of stuff being announced even after the Game Awards. Like there's still new trailers that are popping up left, right, and center. Like it was good to see the Content Creators of the Year awards, that kind of thing happen. Some of the reactions that came out after that. It's the aftermath I always look more forward to. Like the Larian Studios director came out and made a tweet thread, I think this time last week. So like, what would the day have been this time last week? Oh, the 16th-ish. Well, actually, this would be 2 weeks ago, bloody hell. So I'm sorry, my Twitter is only so limited. And he was talking about how he wanted to congratulate more people when he got the speech, and obviously they rushed him off because he had like 30 to 40 seconds to talk. And he made like a 9-thread page. And it was actually really good to read, like all the stuff he'd said, and he said that all the difficulties the studio that came at, like he thanked the people they rented the space from to do the mocap suits and the line recordings, and I'm like, he really did have a lot to say, but it's like people don't. This is the thing. It's like people who have played Baldur's Gate, Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2 will know all these studios because of the COVID period have all had their own difficulties, you know. We're in that period now where we're now leaving the COVID period. So a lot of games now have no real excuse to be buggy, to be full of crap, to be not ready for launch, because I gave them all exceptions to that.
And talking of buggy games,
oh no,
I have been playing quite the buggy game itself, especially when it released during COVID times. That's right, Pokemon Scarlet.
That's not crap buggy, it's crap.
Hey,
I played it, it's crap.
Yeah. It's buggy. It's buggy as hell.
It looks awful as well. It's disgusting.
It's an open world Pokemon game. What do you expect?
I'd rather prefer the pixels.
They've not done one before. Yeah, okay, I get that. But, so, a couple weeks ago, I meant to mention it on last week's podcast, but we got carried away.
True.
The Indigo Disc, which is part 2 of the DLC.
Terrible name. Just
shut up. Name. The full name is The Hidden Treasures of Area Zero, Part 2, The Indigo Disc, if you want to go into that much levels of terrible names, etc. So, I've been trying to play through it. I've not fully completed it at the moment. I've been sort of getting sidetracked with other things, but...
Christmas.
Like Christmas on the way up and, you know, Christmas shopping, etc. But from what I've been playing so far, I've been enjoying it. It's, I did get annoyed. Right. And you know this. You're aware of why I got annoyed.
That's why I'm sitting a bit smug.
Yeah. The game decided, we're just going to delete part of your save. So I had to redo the previous DLC. I was not impressed. I'd beaten the DLC, making sure, okay, we'll be ready, we'll complete this DLC, we'll be ready for when the new one comes out. And then I'd try and boot up the new one, get to a certain point, it goes, oh yeah, you have to complete the previous DLC in the main game. I'm like, I've done this. What do you mean? Turns out it took me back. Oh, he was here for the live reaction, and I'll give you just a brief impression of what happened. You know exactly what one word I'm going to say. What?
Luke's catchphrase.
Yeah, it is. I've not said it on the podcast so far, but I absolutely just say what in a dramatic way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm sure that's what I'll sound like on. Can't think of the game's name. Oh, what's the game? The one you've been playing.
Which I played too many.
The one with our. I can't remember the name.
Lethal Company.
That's the one.
Could just say the scary game.
Yes, the spooky wooky nonsense. If I played that game, you'd absolutely be hearing me say, "What?
I won't lie. That would be the greatest clip I've ever seen. Because you know when the person sounds really far away.
Yes.
I can imagine. I just hear, oh, what's this down here? Oh, Luke, don't go too far away. Nah, it's fine. Luke, you're there still. Can't hear you. And all you're hearing this is, what? And you're like, what's he reacting to? And then you hear him go, run. Just runs past us and there'll be a bracken chasing him. Oh, I need that. I need that in my life.
You inject that. Yeah, I'm sure you'll inject that. Maybe in the new year. We'll see. I'm not going to guarantee anything. Yes, okay. I know it's like 3 days away. But
yeah, my math's bad. Horrific in that case, but ew.
Yeah, that's awful.
New year, less bullying. Just saying.
Just say less than a week. Okay, no chance of that.
Fair.
But yeah, I enjoy just seeing new Pokemon coming back, some new ones being added, some new types of Pokemon. Some being evolutions, branching evolutions of Pokemon that have previously been out. Yeah.
You know, actually, now that you've mentioned it, I want to gauge your question because I actually completely forgot about this. How do you feel when they made the actual decision to remove certain Pokemon or certain amounts of Pokemon and then choose to add them at a later date as DLC that you have to pay for?
It's annoying.
It's because they made too many?
There is. I don't even know how many there is now. I know there's over 1,000. I know that much. But
as far as I'm concerned,
it was inevitably going to happen.
Well, yeah, because the only thing you can do now is like, I know they're doing it, but they need to do it in a bigger fashion. Is as bad as it sounds, unless they create a new console, they will always have this issue. And it's nothing. Yeah. I love the Switch. Then, although I've bought it 4 times and I've sold it 4 times. That's
I'll say this though. I'll say this.
Yeah.
They will always have that problem anyway, and it won't be a problem by them. That's in there. It'll be a problem for community. Think about it.
I think
back in say Generation 3 or Generation 4, realistically, in the Generation 4 games, you probably couldn't access every single Pokemon from Gen 1 to 4.
Yeah, true.
Across, and when I say Gen 4, I'm referring to Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I'm referring to Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. There'll be certain ones that you can't get in that generation that you'd have to trade from previous generations. So the problem's always going to be there because money. So it's why there's Scarlet and Violet.
I think if
certain ones are Scarlet exclusive, certain ones are Violet exclusive. Yes, this is an even bigger version of it because there's some that won't even make it into both versions. Plus, because there's always gonna be a side game. Legends Arceus being the Gen 8 one. Like there'll be ways to get more Pokemon in, but it won't get all of them. I'm trying to think. I think there was a starter that hadn't been in since like Gen 6.
Because there is a way of doing it in my head, and they'll never do it because Nintendo are so stubborn. Like, look how long it took them to make an open world one. Well, not even open world, an actual 3D Pokemon. Like, we all love the old format. I'll go back to it in a heartbeat. But like when they started doing it with like, as much as people didn't like it, like the remakes of Diamond and Pearl, like the way it was done though. I don't mean like the actual content differences. I was meaning from pixel to 3D and still have some things that were the same kind of thing. Like that, I like visually how it looked, right?
Yeah, visually is fine. The content being the same. It wasn't. It's the fact that it wasn't even the best version.
No, that's fair. But it's like
the issues that were in Diamond and Pearl were in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl.
Oh yeah.
They'd added a couple new features, so the underground having the fire starters and the grass starters, all the starters in, and stuff like that in the caves. Cool, sure. But that doesn't make up for what you lost.
No, true.
That you lose so many good things that are from Platinum. I'm not even going to start listing them. There's just so many.
Pokemon special episode, that is.
Like, the thing is, I'll tell you one thing that people hated. I don't know if this is in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. The problem with, if you're talking from a competitive standpoint and from a battling standpoint, even down to how the meter goes down, like the HP. In Gen 4, in Diamond and Pearl, if a Blissey, so the thing with the most HP, ends up getting hit with a one hit, like say it gets hit with a fighting type move that kills it in one hit.
Yeah.
That would take forever.
Yeah.
Like it would just go.
Oh, I remember that.
I'm visualizing it just going in slow motion.
I remember that, yeah.
Meanwhile, in Platinum, they were like, okay, let's just
get rid of it.
We'll move it quicker. We'll move it along quicker, so it's not just everything's.
Oh, you remember that noise?
There's still the noise, but it just goes. Yeah. It just goes quicker. It's like, okay, yeah, it's super effective. Cool, things can die quicker.
They made a lot of cosmetic changes that probably weren't needed.
Yeah, but
there is one way to fix the entire Pokemon issue, and I think this generally works. Is everyone who more or less has a Switch will have some kind of PC gaming computer. So some, in my eyes, I think they do, because I think Xbox people will have just an Xbox and a PC. I don't think they'll ever go towards a Switch. Some people will have all of them because they just like video games. There's video games fans and there's certain console fans. I like all consoles, but I can't have too many consoles because I just physically, my brain can't, I just about remember to switch on the PlayStation to play FC. Other than that, it's never turned on. I don't have any of a need for it because I like to play some console games, but 9 times out of 10 I'm on like Baldur's Gate 3 on the PC, or I'm on FM24, or I'm on Cyberpunk 2077, because my computer's good enough to run most of these games, so I tend to just choose the option that's easiest, and I prefer mouse and keyboard. I think Pokemon needs to make either a live service game on PC with the full data bank of all pokes, and I don't know how you do the format. It'd have to be 3D, it'd have to be an open world. I don't know what region, I don't know how you set it up. Maybe something like Mewtwo Returns kind of format where like a Pokemon's done something and you all have to go to like an island or a brand new region or something where all pokes from all generations are there. It's probably not viable to some degree, like the
so the reason I was saying that the issue of getting all, let me just check how many Pokemon there are specifically. I will just verify this.
The Alolan region, right? That's Hawaiian, right?
Yeah.
So again, you could easily do, I remember in one of the iterations when you wanted to get Lucario, you had to take a boat out to one of the islands to try and find his egg for Riolu. Is that his name Riolu?
That's a Riolu, and Riolu. That is in Gen 4.
Fair. So Riolu, for example, you had to go out to an individual island to find him. The same with Cresselia.
An island.
Yeah. So you had to do that. So again, they could do that with the Alolan region. Just condense it down a little bit. All the pokes are there from that region, maybe, if you want to go visit there. And the little ones you can get away with like that, fair. The modern day ones like the Sword and Shield, well not modern day, the modern-ish ones. The Sword and Shield one, you probably can't get away with. So like, again, region-wise, you can't obviously put everything in. But that's why I'm saying live service game. Like a live service game, you can constantly update it. Like Fortnite, they're changing map changes all the time. You could do a new region every 6 months or something like that. I don't know how it'd work, but I think the next step for Nintendo, maybe Game Freak, would probably have to be a live service PC game. I know there's a lot of Pokemon that come from same destinations, same different categories, like these different kind of things. Like it probably clashes here and there, and there's probably not an easy way or a conceivable way of doing it. But you'd need to have some sort of open cloud live service game to condense them all into it, because otherwise you're going to lose all of them at some point, and people are going to moan about having to pay for Pokemon that should be there already.
Yeah, it looks like there's 1,025 Pokemon.
That's less than I expected.
My problem that I have with, and generally I think with doing it, is Pokemon, when you talk about encounters, which nowadays is not really encounters, because previously walk through grass, you get a Pokemon. It's A, that, but B, there'd be so many, like, where would you fit them in the game? So you'd have to have something huge.
You'd have to huge be the biggest Pokemon game of all time.
There's so many legendaries you'd have to explain away with events or with locations that don't make sense narratively wise. That you'd have to do it if you're doing it with the legendaries, like they did in Gen 6 ORAS.
Yeah. Where
in ORAS you'd have the Hooper portals that would suddenly spawn them in. Same with the I'm gonna say the hyperspace in Gen 7.
Yeah.
There was the I'm not gonna say dimensions, but there was So you'd have to go through the hyperspace holes to get legendaries, etc. And they would be non-canon in the game, stuff like that. But you'd have to do a loophole like that to get the legendaries.
There's a few ways to do cheat ways of doing it. You've got a live service open world game on PC, which again, no matter how you frame it, a PC game version of Poke will do better than a Nintendo game ever will on any console. There's no debate there.
They would never do that.
No, Nintendo are way too stubborn. They are unreliably stubborn. It's ridiculous. Like, it took them, 20 years to do a 3D version? I mean, probably, yeah.
When was X and Y?
Ooh.
X and Y would have been like 2014, maybe.
Okay, I'll rephrase. A 3D open world one.
Okay, open world, yes.
Yeah, so again,
open world,
it was
like
always
25.
open world to a degree, but it was linear. So it was always condensed to, oh, you have to clear the Snorlax from the bridge, go and get the flute to wake him up. Or it would be, go and clear out the team that's attacking because they're blocking the exit from the only city you're in, so you can only go backwards or stay where you are. Like, again, something like that. You could do maybe, do a little bit of a cheat code and introduce a poke that can time travel. And then, or...
Celebi.
Yeah, so but I never know this of Poke. All the regions are in one world, aren't they? 100% all in the same world. So I think canonically they're all there.
Yes, but I don't know.
I'll check.
You would assume so. You would assume so.
Are all the regions in the same world in Pokemon? What are all the regions? I think it is a world. I'm convinced. Okay, yeah, it's a world then. Or a continent. Oh. Whoa. Sorry, you guys can't see this.
I am seeing this.
You have seen this?
I'm seeing this, yes. Yeah, I can see it on your screen.
Yeah, we can both look at this afterwards, but oh my god, okay, this is a bit mad. Right, so yeah, so by the looks of it, it is in the same world. It looks like this, yeah, because it's from the Pokemon anniversary thing, so that's official.
Yeah, it would make sense.
So it does make sense, obviously, if you're going to have Ash as the TV show being canonically going from region to region to region, in theory, it has to make sense. It's not just a different Ash in every different timeline. It doesn't work. So...
I mean, depending on who you believe theory-wise, he's still in a coma and never made it past episode 1 or episode 2.
I'd like either of them, to be honest. But it's like, you use Celebi, for example, and if she's able to go from, you know, region to region in different time frames, like, you know, you've spent 10 hours in Soho, go to the Kanto region next. Or if you want to go to the Alola region. I've definitely butchered one of the names, I know that. I don't know them by names.
That's why my face is like this.
I don't know them by names. There you go. The Kanto.
Sinnoh.
Oh, Sinnoh. Oh, I combined Ho-Oh and
Sinnoh.
When
you're like Soho, I'm like, oh.
Oh, I combined them. That's funny. Yeah, so like the Kanto
literally on your screen?
Yeah, I've just gone back to it. I did have that up, remember. I can't read Japanese, remember. Yeah, so like all the different regions, Kanto, Johto.
It's right there. It's right there.
Leave me be. I'm getting to my point. Sinnoh. Wait. Formerly known as Hisui. Fair.
Oh yeah, Hisui's like Legends Arceus.
Fair. So yeah, like all the different regions, if they're all there's got to be a way where you can do like 10 hours in one, 11 hours to 15 hours in another one, so forth, so forth. Like there'd be a way. There is a way of canonically doing it, and you either use the cheat method of just using Celebi, or you just shithouse it and give no reason for it. Because they haven't given a reason for recent games, and they've been diabolically shit. Like, the story in Violet and Scarlet.
Yes, Scarlet and Violet.
I said it in my head, and I was like, no, that's wrong. Yeah, Violet and Scarlet. I played the first, like, 6 hours. I liked the concept of it. I liked where it was going. It just, unfortunately, I didn't like the gameplay. Or at least the open world aspect. The normal gameplay will always feel the same to me. I like the camera that can move around, or like you're not layered into the big like tile screen comes across, then the background battle music kicks in, all that. Like I loved all that as a kid. I like change because I'm 25 now. I'm not 11 or 12 anymore. Like you like different things, and there is definitely a way of doing it, but Nintendo will never do it. The day they do it, I will do an open apology on Twitch under the artistic nudity thing and just apologize to the world. No one wants to see that, and it'll never happen, but that's out there in the world now. Even though they've just rolled back what they said on the artistic nudity thing and they've banned it. So that's fun. But at the same time, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it, where you don't trust Nintendo to do that, ever. Nintendo have been making such weird choices the last few years, probably the last decade, actually. Do you reckon? Yeah, last decade, I'd say.
Yeah, give or take.
So it's like, it's one of those things where like, I don't trust Activision to make Call of Duty games anymore. I don't trust Treyarch. I don't trust EA to ever make a FIFA game ever, but still buy it every year. You know, I don't trust, like Bandai Namco makes anime games quicker than I eat food, but they're all awful. Like they're able to whip up a Big Mac meal for you quicker than they can make you any other game. They're ridiculous for it. Like Bandai Namco have the rights to, I'm pretty sure, every big name anime out there. they make a game that has the most basic combat, basic map design, but the characters are really detailed and the story makes somewhat sense. But shit. Every game flops. It's just shit 9 times out of 10. But could it turn into a Pokemon special? No, a late Pokemon special this turned into.
Yeah, this is turned into a late, you know.
We spent 20 minutes talking about the future and then 20 minutes to talk about the rest of it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Again, guys, we're inside the first month of doing it. We're still getting to know like what's best, the way to do it, etc. But I think we're getting towards an idea of how to do it.
And we've yet to actually introduce we've introduced our own segments. We've yet to actually do them.
Yes.
So they could get even more wildly off topic.
Yeah. So in the new year, we are going to be doing them. It's like I say, it will vary. Like if, for example, when we start the anime one, there might be a guest at the same time. When we start the nostalgia one, there might be a guest at the same time. It kind of depends on, like Luke said, when who's here and what's going on. If it's just me and him, we can easily make it work. For either hot topics, we could do it at the same time.
Yeah,
but
I feel mine can work with a guest. I've got to spell it out more if there's a guest that hasn't got a clue what I'm talking about, or you don't have a clue what I'm talking about.
I learn on the fly. I get my own name wrong sometimes, so it makes sense. You know.
Yeah.
So it's one of those where like we will have an idea on how this works. It just a matter of how we do it, when we do it, and how it adapts to that person. Because we don't want to do like we're doing it this way, then that way, then this way, then that way. And then that person it doesn't work for them. Like it wouldn't be fair for us to go, by the way, I know we're taking time out of your life, but can you do it this way for us and not do anything in your own way? Like it makes more sense to adapt it. Like if I'm going to talk to someone who's watched almost the same level of anime as me, and we're trying to talk to Luke about that, it wouldn't be fair, like in a certain way. Like if I go, oh yeah, have you watched this week's that? It doesn't work, so we need to find a way to correlate it for all 3 people, or 4. You know, however it works. So things will be not changing permanently, but when those segments come in, they'll be changed to a degree. So Luke's there with a thumbs up. So yeah, because again we've managed to make it over 45 minutes long, we should probably end up being closer to our time frame anyway, 45 to an hour. But we're still working out the nuts and crannies of it. You know, it's the 4th episode, minus especially it's our 3rd one. I'd say we'll have our shit together around episode 15, I'd say.
15? You're giving us probably what?
We've already done 4 in no time at all.
Yeah, that's like nearly 5th of the year.
It's 3 months. It's 2 more months from now.
Yeah. About a quarter of you then.
It'll probably be more active than your within your streams.
Damn right.
Hey, who knows what this podcast can make in the future? I've got high hopes for it, to be fair. Like, we've started it at the end of the year and we're going into a new year with it. So, it's not like we're going to be doing, oh, it's new year, new us, new podcast. It's, no. New year, sure, maybe new us, but with the same podcast. You know, we'll try and obviously if people like having guests on more than they do without guests, then we'll look to try and find people. It's an easy thing to do. I've got a few people who've said yes already. Luke can pull something out of his ass if he wanted to try and find some people from his end if he wanted to. There's no expectation there, to be fair. But no, I think we'll call it there, to be fair. It's a solid 48 minutes and it's currently 5 to 1 in the morning. Didn't expect that, but 40 minutes each podcast kind of makes sense, to be fair. So yeah, you got anything else to say, Luke?
No.
He never does. Like, he can't even plug his own socials because he's not even active on his socials.
Damn right.
In the new year, you know, that might change, guys. Just need to spam him. Let him know he needs to get back on that streaming grind. Let him know he needs to play Lethal Company, because otherwise me and Archer will be the only ones pushing him. Right then, anything else to say, Luke?
Nope.
Oh, we got the mic in hand for it. Right, guys. Thanks for the love. Have a good new year, and we'll see you in a year's time.
See ya.